We'll call to order the Board of Zoning Appeals. If you will stand for the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Call a roll, please.
Mike Curtis.
Here.
Amber Brown.
Here.
Jerry Sartain. Gary Farley.
Here.
Renee Curtis.
Here.
Patrick Hale.
Here.
Zane Cantrell. We have a quorum.
Thank you. You have the minutes of our last meeting. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes?
Move to be approved, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion to be approved.
Second.
Have a second. Call a roll, please.
Mike Curtis.
Yes.
Amber Brown.
Yes.
Jerry Sartain.
Yes.
Gary Farley.
Yes.
Renee Curtis.
Yes.
Patrick Hale.
Yes.
Zane Cantrell.
Yes. Before we get started, under new business, I'm going to ask Jeff Phillips, who is chairman of the county commission, to come forward. He has a very important proposal for the BZA. Jeff, if you'll come to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Most of you know, and I'm sure all of you have studied really hard and know all that's in our Plan Rutherford presentation. 4.5 years, the county's been working on Plan Rutherford, an update which is a long-term vision for our county going forward. Back in October, if I remember right, Pettis, October, the Planning Commission passed Plan Rutherford unanimously and put it into effect, and it's being used right now. The County Commission will hold a special call meeting next Thursday, and I believe that's the 22nd, with a public hearing to consider Plan Rutherford. You are actually kind of sort of a part of our Planning Commission, and I would ask, if you would, to allow our county attorney to word a resolution of support from the BZA, and then allow your chairman at that special call meeting to present that resolution in support of Plan Rutherford. I would ask that you put that in the form of a motion and vote on it. That's my request.
Thank you.
And thank you for allowing me to make that.
Mike?
Mr. Chairman, having been a person that participated in Plan Rutherford, I think it is a very important look forward for our community. And as such, I support this and will make that motion that as long as Nick is agreeable in working up the resolution, I trust Nick to do what needs to be done to make it appropriate.
All right. We have a motion on the floor asking our county attorney to word a resolution from the Board of Zoning Appeals supporting this endeavor. And I think it would be very much in our favor to be able to do that. Do I have a second to that?
I do have a question before I second that. Do we have to add in you presenting that at that special call meeting? Because I feel like that was what the other side of the request was.
Nick, you want to?
Commissioner Phillips may want to clarify whether he needs somebody here from the BZA at the specially called meeting.
I would like, during the public hearing process, or even before that, that the Chairman Cantrell be allowed to read that resolution from the BZA in support of Plan Rutherford.
I would be happy to amend my motion to include that.
I might make a suggestion. I'm happy to do the resolution, but there's not one before this body right now. And the specially called meeting is a week from now. So what you could do is just do a motion to show your unanimous support, assuming there is unanimous support, for the adoption of Plan Rutherford, and request that the chairman of the BZA be present at the specially called meeting to vocalize the support of this body for Plan Rutherford. So you wouldn't need a formal written resolution. It'll be in the minutes of this body here, and then the directive would be given to Mr. Cantrell to appear at the specially called meeting to voice that support.
Do we have a second to this?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a second. Any further discussion?
Well, I want to ask this, just out of respect to the chairman of the county commission. I know you'd asked for a resolution, and with this week turnaround to getting it done for the meeting, are you agreeable to that, Mr. Chairman?
And I could add real quick, the alternative is that if you give me the discretion to put together a very basic resolution and you entrust the county attorney to put the language in there correct and have it signed by your chairman to be presented, that's an option too, and I'm happy to work up a very short resolution of support.
That's what I thought my original motion was.
I was talking to Ms. Bell, and I might have missed that, so that is
all right.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's what I referred to. And
So I did second, so I'll withdraw so it can be amended to support what you mentioned, so.
yeah, nothing's changed because
Okay,
I did.
Back
that
on
was
the
part of
original
what my motion
okay.
was.
Well, I'm in agreement and I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion? We have a motion and a second. Call a roll, please.
Mike
Yes.
Curtis, Amber Brown.
Yes.
Jerry Sartain.
Yes.
Gary Farley.
Yes.
Renee Curtis.
Yes.
Patrick Hale.
Yes.
Zane Cantrell.
Yes, it is passed. So I'll get with you on this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We have one item on our agenda that has been deferred. Jose Rincon, mark that as deferred. We will not be, that will not be on our agenda tonight.
That is application 2026-002.
We'll go on now with the first item of business is Oscar Marroquin, who is requesting a special exemption for a non-commercial storage facility. This is personal storage. What do you have on that, please?
Thank you. Application 2026-001, submitted by Oscar Marroquin, requesting special exception approval to allow the establishment of a non-commercial storage facility for personal use on a property located at 3356 Coleman Hill Road. The site is zoned low-density residential, and this is the site in question. The subject property consists of 8.3 acres and does not contain a principal residential dwelling. The site currently includes an existing accessory structure measuring approximately 480 square feet, which the applicant proposes to demolish and replace with a 5,000 square foot structure. The applicant has stated that the proposed building would only be used for personal storage of tools and equipment. Because there is no principal structure on the property, accessory structures are not permitted by right. This, as a result, it requires special exception approval from the Board of Zoning Appeals, sorry. As part of the application, the applicant submitted documentation from a licensed soil scientist indicating that the property is unsuitable for any conventional or alternative septic system, thereby preventing the establishment of a principal residence. This documentation satisfies the ordinance requirement that the applicant demonstrate conditions on the property do not allow for a principal structure. The property exceeds the minimum 1 acre size requirement, and the proposed structure is permitted based on the overall acreage of the parcel. The applicant has indicated that only one structure would exist on the property and that the existing structure would be removed prior to construction. The proposed use does not include living quarters, commercial activity, or outdoor storage, all of which are prohibited under the applicable ordinance provisions. We received numerous phone calls regarding this request for voicing opposition. The current concerns expressed by callers primarily relate to the potential use of the proposed structure as a business, despite the applicant's representation that the use would be non-commercial. In addition to phone calls, staff has received a petition signed by residents in the Coleman Hill area, and that was passed out to each of you before the meeting. opposing this request, and multiple letters that were also provided to each of you, and I believe they may have been emailed as well. If approved, the proposed structure would be required to meet the principal setbacks of the RL zoning district, and all necessary building permits would be required prior to construction. And this is the site area, adjacent properties across the street, down the street. And this is a photo of the property. This is the access to the property. And if you can see the existing structure that was there, it was established before the applicant purchased the property. And it's the applicant's plan to place the new structure in the same location as the existing structure. And that concludes our presentation.
Does anyone live on this property?
No, sir.
There's no residents, no?
No, and that's why we are considering this application tonight, is the site cannot support a septic system, therefore residents cannot be established on the site.
Danielle?
Any questions of the staff?
I do, Mr.
Go
Chairman.
ahead.
Danielle, this didn't come as a result of code enforcement, did it?
No, this particular request came as a result of the
Just the
applicant coming in to apply for a
apply.
zoning compliance
Okay.
form.
Thank you.
Mike?
Danielle, looking around the area from the imagery that's on the county public GIS from February of last year, there appears to be some rather large structures across the street at, I believe, 3559 Coleman Hill Road that would be similar in size to this structure. Do you have any history on those and what those might be?
Based on the records I was able to find, the two structures are agricultural, and one is 40 by 60 and the other is 40 by 2,400 square feet and 4,800 square feet.
Okay, thank you. And I got a follow-up, and this is for Ms. Bell. Also looking across the street, that really has nothing to do with this application, but I just want to make sure this has been taken care of. There appears to be at least 100, if not more, brand-new trailers on two different pieces of property across the street. Has there been any zoning enforcement with that or codes enforcement?
So we received a complaint about a year ago on these two pieces of property regarding the storage of these trailers. That has since, when we notified the homeowner, the property owner, he did clean those up. So that has since been cleaned up pretty quickly. We closed that within a few weeks.
Okay, thank you. It's just a compatibility with a neighborhood type thing issue may be asked later, so thank you.
Any further questions? We have some emails, you should already have that, concerning this property. We will proceed in this, those of you who may have not been here before, we'll proceed in this way. We'll ask the person who is representing this request to come forward at this time and make any additional comments, or there may be some questions. And then after that, we'll have a public hearing, and you'll be asked to come to the podium and try to keep your comments within the 3-minute range that we have. Do we have anyone here representing this request? If you'll come forward at this time.
And I'd like to make an announcement before we get started. Anyone who wishes to speak tonight, there is a sign-in sheet circulating amongst the crowd. If you can please write your name and address on that for our records.
Yeah, just give us your name and any additional information you want to share about.
My name is Oscar Membreno Marroquin. I am the owner of the property at 33. Well, I didn't get the address yet, but I'm the owner of that property. Just I bought it this year, and the only thing that I would like is just to I have some equipment, and just to keep my equipments in a garage, in a safe place. That's what I would like to do in my property. This is the reason that because in my mind I was thinking to build a house, but it's not permitted to do that because too much rock and it's not able to do the septic. So this is the only thing that I can do is just a garage, just to keep my equipment in a good safe place.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. 5,000 square foot building, correct?
Yes.
What type of equipment are you going to be putting in there?
I have a trailers, and also I have a skid steer, and another equipment that I would like to buy later.
What is this equipment used for? Do you have a business? Do you have a business?
I have a business, but I opened my business just this year, and I start to working in my property now, and then I start to spend, outside just to.
What type of business is it?
It's especially construction, grading, and all the stuff. That's what I would like to do in my business.
So there's going to be a lot of large vehicles in this building?
No, not right now. It's just me and my son that I would like to do little business,
All right. And with it being 5,000 square foot, there's going to be a lot of room there to put additional vehicles in there. Will these vehicles be placed in there later on from your business?
No, it just especially I doing this because I would like to do good business, but in case it's just to put some more like I don't know, more price to my property too, value to my property. That's what I mean.
From what you're saying, it kind of concerns me because with this big a building and what very little of personal stuff you're talking about putting in there, I foresee the possibility of increasing this with other stuff, and it may be turned into a business.
If I can, yes. If not, it's just to put more value on my property too, in case that I would like to sell it. So it's something that is there, But for now, it's just to my equipment.
The equipment you would like to store there, it is related to your business though, correct?
Not right now.
But it could be.
It could be, but not right now.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, I have a question right here. When you said you purchased this, when did you purchase this?
I purchased on February this year, I guess. Last year, I guess.
Purchase of February of 25, okay.
Yeah.
And did you purchase this knowing this was residential?
No, when I bought it, I didn't do any search about it. Just I bought it because I sold my business and I had to invest my money in another properties.
Did you use a professional realtor, or were you just a for sale by owner is how you found your property?
No, I didn't use any professional, just do it on myself.
Did you know the owner prior to the purchase?
No.
Okay. So what you're doing is you're speculating to start a business in a residential zone. If you get it passed, then you will be able to sell your property with that as a commercial property with a variance. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I thought. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Patrick, did you have a question?
Well, I'm just trying to think, if your business gets up and going, is this a location where you would plan on coming with your truck to be able to get that equipment throughout the week?
If the city allowed me to do it, yes. If not, I had to looking for another place, But it's I didn't do nothing with my business right now. I opened a business, but I'm not started yet because I try to work on my own land first.
But that is the goal of the property.
I'm sorry?
That is the goal of the property, to be able to use it, to be able to store that equipment?
Yes, for now, but like I said, I try to be honest, but if the city let me do it, I'll do it. If not, I'll not do it, because the only thing that I have is my skid steer, my truck, and a trailer, And this is the way that I want to learn how doing business, because I'm in a different business right now. I was in a restaurant business, now I'm in a construction business. So.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I've got one. More, I know it doesn't necessarily relate to this application, but you have mentioned you're going into construction, you have this construction equipment. What type of business is it with the activities that you do in construction? Can you explain that to me, please?
Right now, none.
But what is your future thought to it and your goal?
My future is construction, especially driveways and believe me that I'm not really sure, because I'm it's a new world for me in the construction business that I would try to do.
Okay, and what you own now in your personal equipment is a skid steer, and what's the other equipment that you mentioned?
I got a skid steer, and also I got a trailer.
Okay.
And I have another truck just to, to move my skid steer in case that my business started. And then I had to buy like a excavator or something, because that's what my business is gonna require soon.
Okay, thank you.
Mike?
A couple things. One is you've stated that you don't live on this property. Where is your residence currently?
I live in Smyrna.
In Smyrna, inside the town of Smyrna?
Yes.
Okay. And then that's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, over here. Hi. Do you own any other property in Rutherford County or the surrounding area?
Yes, my house in Smyrna.
And do you have any equipment at your house in Smyrna?
It's not allowed because it's
Residential?
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. You may sit down now.
Thank you.
We'll open this for a public hearing. For anyone who'd like to speak on this, if you'll come to the podium, give us your name and any information you'd like to share with it.
Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Board. My name is Jeff Turner. I'm an owner, property owner, live on Coleman Hill. My family and I own 8 houses on the street, 2 additional houses on adjacent street. Nearby farmland, we're long-term residents of the property and occupy our property by family members, not speculative investment properties. As such, we have a sustainable, direct, and long-term exposure to the outcome of this appeal. I want to be clear, this objection is not to oppose reasonable rule. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I get a little stuttering here. Reasonable or rural or residential use. And it's not based on emotion. It's about the scale, compatibility, and whether or not this exceeds what residential zoning district is intended to allow. The applicant is seeking approval for a 5,000 square foot storage building, zoning in a zoned residential area. While the area does include farmland and rural residents, the structure of this size and nature is not typically of a residential zoning use. Building of this magnitude generates and is associated with commercial scale storage and operation, not with residential farmstead patterns. Granting this application will allow the structure and the intention use that would be zoning ordinance does not doesn't match the district. Sorry. I'm a little dyslexic and words get turned around. I get nervous real quick. Even if the applicant describes the building as a storage only, the physical reality of a 5,000 square foot storage building introduces impacts that residential zoning is intended to limit, including increased traffic, delivery, activity, lighting, visual instructions, long-term uncertainties regarding the structure over time. In addition to the map, this area has been clear-cut with the exception of a small amount of trees along the street. This is not a good visual representation of the property any longer. His equipment is there. There's already commercial trucks parked there on a regular basis. I believe that, with all respect, Mr. Oscar does own Internet says that M&M Maintenance is a construction company. Whether or not he sold that or not, I don't know, but I believe this equipment belongs to that company. Approval of this request would alter the characteristics of the area and could effectively accomplish what a zoning change would without the safeguards and the border review required by rezoning process. Sorry, can I continue just a second?
Yeah, we'll give you a few more minutes.
Okay, thank you. I also want to go on the record to say that I want to go on the record to say that this proposal lacks neighborhood support. In less than one day, we collected over 50 signatures. I believe you have those opposing this request. Given more time, we could have easily gotten 100 to 150. Property values and neighborhood stability matters, even in a rural area. Large, non-residential structures of this scale, placed close proximity to the road and other homes, undermines the reasonable expectations of negative long-term effects in property values we enjoy. The other two buildings across the street are mine. They're agriculture, they're barns. They're very nicely done. They can't be seen from the street. I wanted to address that. They were done under zoning with permits and exemptions from that standpoint. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, anyone else who come forward at this time?
I'm Ashton Meadows. I stay at 3499 Coleman Hill Road. In a building of this size, and with being a business, it's going to have a lot of traffic, activity, lighting, and visual intrusions. This impacts everybody on the road. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Barbara Sisk, and I live directly across from where he's going to build. Our driveways just about run in across the roads together. And this is residential. It's my neighborhood. It is not made and equipped. The roads are not equipped for heavy equipment in and out of the roads. It's just a small country road. I don't know exactly what to say to persuade this should not happen. Our roads are not made for heavy equipment. It's not made for commercial. And I expect it to end up being commercial because he's going to be doing his businesses in and out of that building. If he's doing people's driveways, that equipment's going to be going in and out on our neighborhood roads. We have children playing out there. My neighbors have small children. We have goats, chickens. It's agricultural. It's not made for a warehouse that is bigger than almost every home that I know of. That warehouse is going to be 3 times bigger than my house. And my house is 24, but it's 2-story. But you lay it out, I mean, I don't want to look at that across the street. I know that's a personal comment, but that's exactly where it is. It's going to end up with a commercial property. It's going to have heavy equipment on our roads, creating noise in our agricultural, quiet neighborhood. It does not belong.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next. Don't be shy.
My name is Janet Kelly. I live at 1700 Coleman Hill Road. It's quite a bit before you get to this property. I've been there for 50 years. I have recently retired from MTSU, the Department of Agriculture, and the College of Graduate Studies. I raise Nigerian dwarf goats. My property is 9 acres. This concerned me when I received the information of the rezoning because I felt like the garage is a little large, not to be commercial, so I appreciate very much your transparent questions that you gave to Oscar, and we got to hear that feedback directly from him. I, like Barbara, really hesitate to see so many large pieces of equipment, large trucks, tractor-trailer trucks continually go down Coleman Hill Road. It's bad enough on 96, but on our little road, it gets quite dangerous as you go down that way. And I hope that you all will vote against the rezoning of this property. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Somebody over here. Yeah, come on, come on. It's your chance to be on TV, folks.
I'm Don Patterson. I live on 2192 Coleman Hill Road. It's to the north. What's not shown on this diagram is there's a real sharp turn. It's a very narrow road, very sharp turn going around a hill and down a hill. And I've seen trucks, we do occasionally get large trucks there. Fortunately, not a lot right now, but when they do, I can hear them from my house and they come barreling down around about that curve. There's a little house right across the street from us, and young lady, a grandmother and a kid, and I see them out there playing all the time right next to the road. And one of my biggest fears, even me when I'm coming home, because I drive by there all the time, I have to really slow down around that curve and look, because when those children or something were to get hit by a lot of heavy trucks coming and going, that's one of my biggest fears about something of this size and commercial activity and traffic coming around.
Thank you. Next. I appreciate you folks staying in time. Sometimes when folks get up here, they want to talk all night, but I appreciate that very much. Y'all have done great.
Okay, my name is Leland Earl Schaefer, and I live right across from where he's going to build that storage unit. And I don't want to hear the noise, and I hear those trucks go past, and I just don't want there to be a big building right across from where I live at. I live with my Aunt Barbara and my cousin Ashton, and I don't want there to be a building there.
Thank you. Next. Anyone else?
Save the best for last.
You're not bragging, are you?
My name's John Harrington. I live 3731 Coleman Hill Road, just barely out of the photograph. I can hear everything that goes on over that way. I've been there for 35, 36 years. I'm retired. I'm in and out and doing things on my farm. I don't understand why they want such a big building just to store one skid steer, what will turn into 10 skid steers, and become a rezoning for our area. That's the main reason I don't want to see it, is the rezoning. That's all I have to say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next. Hi.
Hello, my name is Paige McLean Ramsey. I have lived in the neighborhood since 2006. My husband and I moved there. We started out at 4199 Coleman Hill Road and lived there a couple of years. We wanted a little more land, and so we moved down the road, and we lived at 2978 for about 7 years. And then we moved around the curve, and now we've lived there for about 7 years. We love our area. We moved to the country for a reason. We didn't want to live in town. We didn't want a lot of traffic. We didn't want a lot of all this that's coming. So we would like to slow this down and not have large storage buildings on our road. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next. Anyone else? You've had your chance. Close the public hearing. I'm always concerned when we have a large facility that's being built out in our country that supposedly is personal storage. But when you get into it, it looks like it's a beginning of a big business. So I don't know if that's what's happening here, but when you don't have somebody living there, taking care of it, and being a part of that community, I'm always concerned about that. So that's my 2 cents on it, folks.
Mr. Chairman, based on the applicant's admission about his future business equipment being stored out there, and based on this, to me, is not going to be compatible with the residential area out there, I'm going to make a motion that we deny his request based on that reason, not compatible with the residential area.
Second.
Got a second. Got a motion, got a second.
I have a question, Gary. Is there a way that we can make sure that the building is okay, the building's not built, make sure the equipment does not come in there anyway without the building? Is there something we can say in the verbiage? You see what I'm saying? They're not going to store the equipment without the building, are they?
I'm thinking that would be something that we could get advice from codes enforcement on that.
Okay, we've got the comments, but we'll move to that now. You've got a motion on the floor. You got a second.
I have some additional things to add as discussion. I agree with Gary that this is not compatible with this neighborhood. It is very commercial in nature. It's not personal storage. It's not low residential compatible, of which the zoning is in this area. This type of use is more appropriate in a commercial or industrial zoning type.
Okay. Any other
environment.
comments?
And I would like to follow up and ask Tanya about Renee's question about enforcing the storage of equipment here.
So I don't think comments are necessary in the motion that you guys are making. We will monitor it, and you've seen this evening the presence out there in that community. So I have no qualms about anybody giving us a call if any activity or anything starts up out there.
I do notice a lot of the state routes around Rutherford County have a lot of big signs for lease, and it's just a gravel pit for storage of equipment. Now, who owns them, I don't know, but I do see that that's happening a lot around here.
Yeah, we can't be everywhere all the time, but so we do rely on the community and the folks that live out there to let us know what's going on.
Posted, so that's good.
Right, yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for your comments. We're going to call a roll now, please.
Mike Curtis.
Yes.
Excuse me. Amber Brown.
Yes.
Jerry Sartain.
Yes.
Gary Farley.
Yes.
Renee Curtis.
Yes.
Patrick Hill.
Yes.
Zane Cantrell.
Yes. The next item is Heriberto Olvera, I guess. I'm guessing at this, who is requesting a special exemption for a major home business, and this has to do with a concrete construction. What do you have on that, please?
Thank you. Application 2026-003, filed by Heriberto Neito Olvera. is requesting special exception approval for the establishment of a major home-based business involving a concrete construction operation at 10279 Manchester Pike, the property zone RM. And the subject property consists of approximately 5 acres and is developed with a single-family residence and detached accessory structures. The proposed business would operate Monday through Saturday from 5:30 a.m. to 7 p.m., with 4 non-resident employees reporting to the site. The request includes approval for indoor and outdoor storage of work trucks, trailers, equipment, and materials. We note that one of the accessory structures proposed to be used for the business was constructed without a building permit, and the applicant is currently working with building codes to address permitting and inspection requirements. This application is the result of a code enforcement activity following a complaint regarding an unapproved business operating at the property. Staff has received numerous phone calls in opposition to this request. Callers expressed concerns regarding the incompatibility of the proposed use with the surrounding residential area, as well as specific concerns related to traffic impact, the intensity of the business activity, as well as flooding issues in the area that residents believe could be exacerbated by continued or expanded use of the site. Under the zoning ordinance, major home-based businesses are limited in number for non-resident employees, number of business vehicles, and outdoor storage, all of which he is proposing exceed those standards. However, the board is granted the power by the zoning ordinance to grant relief to each of those standards. And that concludes my presentation.
Any questions of our staff on this? Do we have anyone here representing this request? If you'll come forward at this time. Yeah, come to the podium there. Give us your name. Did I mispronounce it? My Spanish is not real good right now.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Pilar. He's Heriberto, my husband. We live at 10279 Manchester Pike.
Can you talk about your business? I'm sure you were here for the previous applicant that came up. Construction businesses can be a pain point because of the equipment that comes with it and the activity. So can you talk through your business, what you do, and give us some more information, please?
Yes, of course. So he's a concrete subcontractor. We bought the property in 2022. We're 6, 4 kids, and 2 of us. So we built the barn for storage of his work trucks and tools. There are 3 work trucks with each trailer, a skid steer, and other tools that he needs for work. But there's no work activity in there. They just get the trucks in the morning, leave, and then come back at night.
So I did hear you say that you built that building that we see right here to the right, the red building? Mm-hmm. And you built that?
Yes.
Did you go through the proper process, the permitting process with that?
No, we didn't.
And did you have a contractor?
When we bought the property, we did ask our realtor that if we needed a permit. She told us we didn't, since we were outside city limits. And we just took her word for it. We didn't know we needed one until Inspector Mike passed by, and he was the one that told us we didn't needed the permit.
Okay, the last question I have, you said you bought this property when? What was it?
2022.
And how long have you been operating this business when you built this?
After finishing the storage.
What year was that? Was that last year or prior to?
It was the same year, a few months.
That you purchased the property, so you've been operating this business for almost 3 years?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other, go ahead.
I have a question, and I apologize, but I know Olvera can be anybody's name, just like Smith can be anybody's name. But are you guys related to the same Olveras on State Route 231 South in Rutherford County that has the Olvera Concrete?
I think there's two Olvera's concrete. One is his uncle, and the other is like a far uncle. Like they're kind of related.
Y'all are not the same business.
Yes, but
You are or you are not the same?
no, it's not the same business.
Okay, so you're totally independent of the one on the State Route 231 South in Rutherford
Yes.
County?
Mhm.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I do have a question.
Patrick, go ahead.
So you say there's 3 trucks, right?
Each with its own trailer and work tools.
Okay. So I drive by here every day, and I see 4 trucks in the barn, and then 2 other trucks behind the barn.
Those are personal trucks.
But they have one of those outside the barn has the company name on it.
Well, they don't take all the trucks.
So then that's 5 trucks and not 3 trucks.
Yeah, there's 3 and 2 personal. They only take 3 trucks to work, for work.
But there's 4 that are gone every day.
The other one is personal.
That are from inside that building. So not the 3, the 4. So are there 3 trucks? Because I see 4 trucks inside because it's visible from the road.
Yes.
Right? And look, they're beautiful trucks. Everything's kept very nice. But I'm just trying to be clear, because in the application it says 3 trucks and trailers, but there's 4 out there that are going every single day, except for Sunday.
Except for that one we don't use it. So that's like personal.
With the company name on the side of it?
It
They're all
has it,
labeled
but
the same.
it's like a Oh, that's the one he uses, like when he doesn't go to work, he just goes to see like the work sites and that.
Okay.
But they don't take that one for work.
But he takes it to work? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mike, go ahead.
Are any of these vehicles, whether it be 3 or 5, have backup beepers? When they back up, do they go beep, beep, beep?
When they back up, yes.
Yeah, okay.
See that?
In a,
Oh, just one.
just one? Okay. Is that able to be turned off?
Yeah. Yeah, I can.
Okay.
turn it off.
5:30 in the morning, particularly on a Saturday morning, is really early for your neighbors to hear trucks warming up, equipment being moved. Just pointing that out. And that for folks wanting to enjoy their outdoors on a nice spring day, 7 o'clock can be a little late too. So your hours seem to be larger than what would be normal for a residential area of this type. And we've already talked about the structure you need the permit for. Okay, that's all my questions. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I just have one last. Your neighbors matter. So have you talked to your neighbors at all, either prior to moving there or once you moved there and started that business? Have you talked to your neighbors at all about how they would feel about you having a business of this sort on the property?
Yes, we're close to our neighborhoods in the back. You can see the driveway going up. He goes sometimes to our house, and we get along really good. He didn't mind anything. And then on the other side, other neighbor, we barely see him. We just saw him like twice, probably, since we lived there.
Thank you very much. You may be seated at this time.
Thank
you. We'll open this for a public hearing. For anyone who'd like to speak on this request, if you'll come around to the podium, give us your name and any additional information you want to share on this.
Robert Benton. I live at 10220 Manchester Pike, directly across from the subject property. I did submit a presentation. I would indulge your patience to at least finish it. It's not going to take but 5 or 6 minutes total. The issues, as we see it or I see it, the owners are operating a concrete construction business out of their property. It is not a home-based business. All work is being done off-site at a remote construction site. There are multiple trucks. There have been dump trucks, flatbed trailers, construction equipment, skid loaders, excavators, leaving pre-dawn, early morning, and returning at the end of the day or in the evening. There is no work being done here in a home-based business setting. There are water issues as a result of what they've done. The additional structures, including the 60 by 80 metal building, 4,800 square foot building, and a large gravel parking lot, which I believe is probably equal to that in size. The runoff, and it's not natural runoff, is adding to my flooding at my property. We'll see that later. And they're intentionally redirecting that water onto my property. Next. This is what was there before they moved in. A single-family dwelling, a 3-stall garage, and a detached 1-stall garage. Next, please. Now they have a roofed carport, an attached roof structure, a roofed outdoor structure, and the 60 by 80, 4,800 square foot metal building, and a very large entrance structure, as well as a large gravel parking lot. Next, please. This is an aerial view. You can see the large gravel parking lot, the metal building, and the additional structures that were not there prior to their building. Next, please. There are water issues. The added roof structures, and especially the gravel parking lot and the large 60 by 80, 4,800 square foot building, have caused additional runoff from their property onto mine. Just recently, after the zoning appeal was made and after I submitted this presentation, the owners brought in several dump truck loads of fill dirt, installed a new culvert under their driveway, and altered the natural topography of the property to redirect water runoff from the parking lot and the building from the metal building side of their driveway to the other side of the building, or the other side of the driveway. That's all done in violation of the natural flow rule. Not to mention they didn't have a land disturbance permit. Next, please. This slide illustrates what's going on. You can see the large gravel parking lot, the building. The blue arrows was the natural water flow prior to their construction and redirection of the water from the fill, the grading, and the culvert that they installed. The red arrows is where the water's going now. The kind of a yellow structure or rectangle, that's the location, approximate location, the angle and direction of the culvert that they installed in their driveway. This is in addition and above the culvert that is at the ditch level at Manchester Highway. Then you can see the location and the direction of a previously existing culvert under Manchester Highway. That exits onto my property. So all of that water designated by those red arrows is now coming at me. Next, please. Here are some photos of the grading, the new culvert, the entrance of it, the exit of it, how it was graded intentionally to redirect water. There is such a thing as a natural flow rule, and they have disrupted that intentionally and caused water to come onto my property. In summary, next please. Oh, back. Yep, there. Concrete construction business is incompatible with RM residential zoning. A major home-based business involving concrete construction goes way beyond the scale of a typical incidental or subordinate residential use. RM zoning is intended to protect residential character, safety, and livability. Increased truck traffic, noise, dust, and industrial activity will negatively impact safety, property values, and the quality of life for surrounding residents. We note the noise impacts from truck in the morning, equipment being loaded, unloaded, increased road and traffic safety issues from heavy trucks, dump trucks, trailers, and equipment, and the increased danger to customary car and truck traffic, not to mention school buses. This use belongs in a properly zoned commercial or industrial area, not a residential neighborhood. Rutherford County already has commercial and industrial zoning districts appropriate for a concrete construction business. The precedent here is important. Approval could open the door for other contractors, industrial businesses, and commercial encroachment. This erodes zoning protections countywide. Next, please. The conclusion: I oppose the requested zoning appeal since the intention of the petitioner was always to run a non-home-based business out of the property, and he has made substantial changes to the property to operate the business, specifically a very large 4,800 square foot metal building and large gravel parking lot. We've already determined that there was no building permit. We also request or would like to see some additional investigation into the water issues and the redirection. Now, I do have, and I'll be finished with this next slide. Yes, please. I have a photo of the flooding on my property. That was separate from the presentation. That was submitted after.
There you go.
Yes, that's the flooding on my property. This was after less than 1 inch of rain. This was last Friday. And then the video. This is water exiting the new culvert that he intentionally installed to redirect the water. That would never be coming onto my property before this. So I guess in conclusion, I just want to say, although I did not initiate this complaint, I do intend to oppose it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have some questions?
Yes, sir. First of all, I want to thank you for the presentation that you just presented. You've done a lot of work on this, and thank you for all this information. Just a quick question for you. What type of experience do you have in doing this? Because it sounds like you've got a lot of knowledge in water and other things like this.
This area has been, we've been here multiple times. Just next door to us, one property over was the Hensley property, which was causing a tremendous amount of flooding to others in our neighborhood. So yes, I have experience with that.
So thank you for that. And my next question would be for the Codes Department. In his presentation, he showed multiple additional structures that have been done since they've moved in. Has any of that work been permitted and inspected?
It has now.
It has now.
It has been.
It was built without permits.
Correct.
Okay.
One of our inspectors went by there and seen it all, new construction. We're not down that far down Manchester Highway very often, but when they are, they tend to notice structures of that nature, of that size, that have just appeared. So yes, it was brought to our attention maybe 6-8 months after it went up. Now the permits are still open. I will say we're waiting on some structural engineered designs on the larger structure. So the permits are still open. They have not been finalized yet, but yes, they did permit them, and when they did, they were double permitted because they constructed them without permits.
And if I may add, the water exits onto my property. From there, it flows north onto my neighbor's property. He's not here today. He's out of town. And from there, it flows into Horseshoe Downs. So it's not just me being impacted by this.
All right, and my next question would be for planning. And Danielle, has our engineering department, have they looked at the water aspects of this, the drainage?
They have. Once this presentation was emailed, as well as the movie was sent on Friday, I believe they sent one of their inspectors out there to see if the additional water was being brought onto his property. They indicated that the water was ending up at the same location. And I'm not an engineer, but I don't think that they're aware of the additional fill dirt that you said since you presented this presentation. So they haven't been out there since that fill dirt has been placed onto the property. But they're aware, and also, you know, if this was a commercial operation, if they wanted to put a large gravel parking lot or paved parking lot, we would actually have requirements. They would have to go through site plan review to make sure that there is no off-site impacts due to stormwater. But since it's residential, it's not subject to that review.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks, sir.
Mike? What? Nothing? All right. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Somebody else over here. Go ahead.
I'm Carla Benton. That was my husband. I live at 10220 Manchester Pike, directly across the street from this property. I think the biggest thing I would impress upon all of you is the decision you choose to make concerning this special exemption request sets a huge precedence. It's up to you whether the resulting consequences are positive or negative going forward. He has attempted to pass the commercial business off as a major home business, and he has no regard for the county state policies or his neighbors, as he's demonstrated repeatedly. I know he wants to say this is a home business. A home business does not require a large parking lot and a 4,800 square foot building for large, heavy equipment like the gentleman previously wanted, even though he didn't have a business yet. He has a lot of what I wanted to say, my husband said, so now I got to figure out what I want to say. Be the first time, right, that a woman had to, right? Basically, he has blatantly bypassed all of the procedures that the county puts in place. He's blatantly bypassed all of the requirements for a special exemption because that is all supposed to be prior, not after. He knew when he built this, his whole intent was to run a business. His LLC was established in 2019, so the business, as he even stated, was 3 years old already when he moved in. And I know he says in his exception request that what his hours will be and how many workers he has, but with the exception of cold winter months, a typical day starts with 4 to 5 trucks pulling long flatbed trailers with heavy equipment, leaving his property early in the morning, typically 5:30 to 6 o'clock in the morning, and most times not returning until 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, and even sometimes as late as 11 o'clock at night. The other thing that is of concern, he has a sizable travel trailer with 2 non-speaking English men living in it way back in a dark corner of his oversized equipment building that is totally out of sight. I have never understood why a travel trailer would want to be in the dark and live in the dark and why it has to be hidden in a building. I'm just saying. So none of his actions have been by accident, it has been by intent. I think the simple answer is no. Otherwise, you're setting a dangerous precedent to everyone else to just go ahead and ask for an exception afterwards. Mr. Hensley and Mr. Ford both tried that and they were denied. This gentleman has gone even further, and I think the response to him should be the same. No. And I would ask you to ask yourselves, would you like this to be across the street from your residential home? I think not.
Thank you. Next.
Can you all hear me? Okay. My name is John Fordham. I live at 10554 Manchester Pike, just about a quarter mile south of the subject property. A lot of what I was going to address has been hit on by both Bob and Carla, so I'm going to try and abbreviate what I originally had prepared here. First off, I want to point out, in the application for a special exception, there's top of page 2, there is a section where it points out that the applicant must demonstrate that the proposal conforms to all applicable provisions of the Rutherford County zoning ordinance for the district in which it is to be located and is necessary for public convenience in that location. Based on everything you've heard here today, I don't see how the public benefits from this, the potential exception that would be granted. If there is something I'm missing, please let me know. But next point I'd like to make is it's been well established that a very large structure was built for storing vehicles and equipment. It's also been established by the earlier questioning that the indication on the application was a little disingenuous in saying that there was 3 vehicles when it seems like there possibly is more. But I want to point out that these are big trucks and heavy equipment, right? They require maintenance way more frequently than a standard residential equipment. Your average small lawn tractor or backhoe type farm tractor doesn't go through the heavy use and abuse. So they're going to require maintenance. And, with a business, your equipment, that is your everyday, that is your gravy train. And there's going to be a very, very high likelihood that there's going to be maintenance work being done on these trucks and equipment in that garage, which kind of starts to move that garage into the realm of an auto repair business. Maybe not for hire, but they would be doing repairs similar to what an auto repair business would be doing. That type of activity is specifically excluded in an RM zone. And according to the Appendix B of the Land Use Activity Table, it's also not subject to a special exception. Another point I want to hit real quick.
You need to find a spot to finish up, please.
Okay, yes, sir. So another point is what happens when the business starts to grow and he acquires more vehicles? It was mentioned a prior applicant had a similar question. So how is that going to be monitored and governed? So lastly, I want to point out, and it was mentioned, there's been issues previously with the Hensley property. This is just a bad precedent to give them forgiveness when they didn't ask for permission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next.
Yeah, Ricky Marlin, 7868 Blankenship Road. I'm kind of at the top left of that map there. So against...
Go ahead. Keep going.
Keep my time there.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the precedent has already been established with the Hensley property across the road. That this, I don't know if this came up before the Planning Commission or the BZA here, but either way, the commission did the right thing and denied a rezoning or a special use permit for this property. And we have no doubt that you will deny this again tonight, as all previous people have mentioned. And we'll also have the support of our county commissioner. He'll be speaking up here shortly on this too. So we will request that this be denied tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Bob Morgan, and excuse me. My wife and I live at 7467 Ridley Arp Road. In the past 4 years since we bought our property, we've been in front of this planning commission and zoning commission for this is our 5th time. I understand a home-based business, but this is a commercial concrete business with a fleet of trucks, heavy equipment, and employee parking. If this is allowed, it will open the door to become a cluster of commercial businesses. The property across the street at 266 Manchester Highway will be the next to apply for the home-based business. People try to skirt codes in planning department on what is allowed, and when they get caught or called out for their lawlessness, they run, anyway, I lost my other sheet of paper. So anyway, they run to the Planning Commission and the Zoning Commission to ask for permission and forgiveness. And as the Planning Commission and everybody said before, they want to keep Manchester Highway, scenic Manchester Highway, and that's what we would like also. So thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Yes, my name is Raleigh Marlin. I live at 7888 Blankenship Road. And I have frontage on the Manchester Highway at Blankenship Road and at 9383 Manchester Pike, which is on top of the hill. A lifelong resident of that area. I applaud this gentleman for being a hard worker. He's got a beautiful entrance, absolutely beautiful. But the way I understand this, it was explained to me, there's like two different classes or codes, and one of them is if it's out of sight, out of mind. And to me, and my interpretation would be, you have a business, you advertise on Marketplace, it's got your phone number, they call you, they want you to come out and pour concrete, you drive to that location, you meet them. You know, that's no harm, no foul. But this is not what this is not what this is. This must be the second class or code or whatever the term is. So I think it's very inappropriate for this area. And I really can't add to what these other people said. Excellent presentation. I hope it's a no-brainer.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? You'll come on around, please.
Greg Blankenship, 8870 Big Springs Road. I just wanted to ask a question or two. Someone asked him if they were related, and I think he said yes. Do they do business together, all three of these applicants? I think we deferred one, right? First one we delayed. I'm just wondering if the other two are related. I know they're all concrete. It just seems like a coincidence to me that they're all three asking for similar type exemptions or zonings. Wanted to also clarify, the building, before the building was built, they were storing equipment out there. So they've been storing equipment longer than 3 years. Something just rubs me wrong about someone who tries to, I know they mentioned it earlier, build something and then ask for forgiveness later. Why would we reward somebody for knowingly not following the proper channels? He's in the construction business. He knows about codes. He knows about permits. So I'm not sure I'm buying that whole bit about the realtor told him this or told him that. I don't think we should give a reward for someone that doesn't follow the approval, didn't go through the proper zones. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
They just say it's a big no for me.
Thank you. Next.
Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Beverly. I serve as the County Commissioner for District 6, and I'm here tonight to represent some of the folks that live out in our neighborhood that couldn't make it tonight. And their response is an overwhelming opposition. They ask you to vote no. These folks are tired. They've been here for a borrow pit. They've been here for BZA violations on the Hensley property, and they're here yet again. They've had to fight harder than anyone else I know to protect their community, and I'm just here tonight as their representative to say it is an overwhelming no, and not to beat a dead horse, but for all the reasons that have already been listed. This is due to an enforcement action, not permission, and this is a large-scale business. So I'll entertain any questions y'all might have off of that, but outside of that, I just wanted to yield the rest of my time.
You're all right. Any questions? Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? We'll close the public hearing. There's a couple of comments. When you look at a business, you want folks to be able to make a living in whatever endeavor that they're in. But when we're looking at changes that's going on in our county, you've got to be aware of how large we are becoming and all of the residents out there. I'll point this out to everybody. When you're talking about 20 workers, you're talking about something that's pretty large. I don't know of many businesses out in that area that would employ that many people. It just doesn't happen. And when you look at Weeks Road, this is single-family residence, single-family homes, not, pardon? Yeah, I'm sorry, Manchester Pike. What did I say? Yeah, I got the wrong one. Manchester Pike. Thank you for correcting me. And regardless, whether it was where it is in our county, we just can't have large businesses out there that's employing that many people. And I don't know of any area out there in that area that would have that many employees. And you're looking at something more than just a home business or even a major home business. This is a super home business if you have that many employees. Mike?
Mr. Chairman, based on the information that we've gathered here, although that this is on a state highway, it is zoned residential medium. And based on all the information we've gathered to this point, my interpretation is that this is not compatible with the neighborhood and is more appropriate for a commercial/industrial zoning. As such, I move we deny.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I have questions. All right. If this motion passes as a denial, with all the things he's done out there, what is the plan of action as far as getting rid of some of this stuff and taking care of some of his drainage problems and getting it fixed? That's going to be up to his expense, correct?
All right, go ahead.
Well, just to address the structure, he would be allowed to have that structure regardless of having a business or not. Based on some of the new information that was received tonight, we will communicate that to our stormwater department so that they can investigate. And then in regards to the code enforcement violations, Tanny can answer.
So when a application is denied, like on an application such as the one tonight, we will allow the applicant 30 days to look for somewhere to relocate his business and work with him to relocate that business. The hopes are to have it 30 to 60 days out, but realistically, he's got to look for a new location. That's not going to be done overnight.
Correct. There's got to be a plan, and I understand that. But all right, let's say, for example, some of those buildings do not meet code or are not structurally sound or whatever. There's going to have to be something done as far as, because they're going to be inhabitable.
Right, so we have inspected, there has been inspections completed on the structures. One of them, the largest structure, we're waiting on an engineer's report on it. It has to have an engineer's evaluation because we didn't see it go up. We didn't inspect any of the connections or anything like that, so we are waiting on that. We will verify, we'll continue to verify that, and it has been permitted, it has been approved, and he will be permitted to use it as a residential structure. And again, like the previous application, if this is denied, we will keep an eye on it, and we do rely on the community. It is right on the road, so if anything is untoward or anything happens out there, we will be notified, I'm no doubt.
And thank you. I knew this, but I wanted to bring this up in public where the public would know what the plan could be going forward if this was denied. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
You know, by the time we get here and the building is erected and now they're going through codes to permit it, the damage is done. So why and when can we say if it is not permitted? And I know this is way out there. I know I'm looking like, star. Tear it down. It's not legal. Why do they let them build them? We sit here and we approve it or deny it, but the structure stays. I would like to see some consequences for the structure.
So the structure was approved. It went through the zoning compliance process in planning and engineering where...
Prior to being built.
Correct. Okay. Excuse me, no, prior to being permitted. It was already built at this point.
That's my point.
And I'll let Danielle address what they review at that stage, but once it's been through that stage and has got zoning compliance approval, we issue a permit for it.
Yeah, so we're just out of luck. We've got a 5,000 square foot building in Rutherford County.
It's the use of it that you guys are deciding tonight. The building, once it's been through zoning compliance.
The building is none of our business.
And has a building permit on it, it can be used for residential purposes.
Yeah, so the building is none of our business.
Well, I understand your question, but...
Because I'm seeing these buildings all over Rutherford County. It's not just this one. It's the exact same square footage and the exact same buildings all over the place. So...
You can't just go out there and start tearing things down, even they don't have a permit.
Sometimes there's
so they run into
consequences.
some legal obligations.
I have to live with consequences.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a thought from just a...
All right, we're going to cut off the conversation. We've got a motion on the floor. We got a second. Call a roll, please.
Mike Curtis.
Yes.
Amber Brown. Jerry Sartain.
Yes.
Gary Farley.
Yes.
Renee Curtis.
Yes.
Patrick Hill.
Yes.
Zane Cantrell.
Yes. Okay, that's all of our business here, except we need to elect a chair and a vice chair. Do we have a nomination for a chair?
Make a motion that we keep Zane Cantrell as our chairman.
Do we have a second to that?
Second.
Have a second. Call a roll, please.
Mike Curtis.
Yes.
Amber Brown. Jerry Sartain.
Yes.
Gary Farley. Yes. Renee Curtis.
Yes.
Patrick Hill.
Yes.
Zane Cantrell.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I didn't lobby for it, but I'll do it if you want me to. We have a vice chair now. Do we have a nomination for vice chair?
Our current vice chair up to this point is Mr. Jerry Sartain. Is that not correct?
I have a motion for Jerry Sartain. Do we have a second? We have a second. Call a roll, please.
Mike Curtis.
Yes.
Amber Brown. Jerry Sartain.
Yes.
Gary Farley. Renee Curtis.
Yes.
He was changing his mind. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Patrick Hill. Zane
Yes.
Cantrell.
Yes. Thank you all for being here, for being patient. It's gone on, and I hope you go away with a good feeling, all of you. We've listened to what you have to say, and we appreciate it very much. And come back as often as you can. Hopefully it's not something like this. We are adjourned.